welcome back. It is day 15 on the new account. Let's go ahead and open our Clan Bass rewards. See if we get anything interesting. Gold is good. Hey, we'll never complain about a divine. That's about as good as it could get. Although I might trade this for a skill crystal, but I will not complain about that at all. Alright, so double diamonds. That's about as good as it's gonna get for our chest right now. I did want to show you guys something. I did a naughty yesterday. I was right on the edge of getting getting number one in this tournament, so I went ahead and did a 10 pull, and something happened. Let's go ahead and show you. So I got a second Sun Wukong, so I was able to get him to A1. That was just a 10 pop to push me over to first place in that tournament. It felt like the skill crystal and the ancients were worth it, and it went way above expectations for one to hit a legendary, and then it's so hard to hit an additional limited on their banner, so I am not complaining at all. So we are going to work on Void Rift today. So I think we're kind of on a down week for content. Next week will be the the Assassin's Creed collab with Watcher of Realms. But our goal this week is to clear the new Void Rift level and to try to progress our gear raids. I think if we could hit 19 in gear raid 1 and gear raid 3, I feel like those are the key ones just for all of them really, but you get your best DPS gear out of gear raid 3 and you need that left side gear out of gear raid 1, although you get all your support gear out of gear raid 2, so you really do want it all. So let's go ahead and get into it. Alright, in this video we're going to try to progress in Elite Void Rift. So let's take a look. I think we had the indicator that this is your appropriate level, and we're hopping up one rank from last week. They're recommending a 374,000 BP, so we're a little bit short, but we still have old characters in here, so we haven't gone back and changed the team to reflect the roster. And I think that will make the difference. Alright. So we're probably going to want to double tank. Alright, so based on this, our roster is appropriate. Let's go ahead and get into it. Alright, if I remember this level properly, the major thing that happens is you get AoE at the top and the bottom. You're controlling 2 lanes, and this middle row right here does not take that AoE damage. So you can stack up your healers and your damage dealers there and mitigate a lot of the incidental damage that comes in. So that is what we are going to try to do. So mostly here, we're just hoping to be tanky enough for our marksmen to pick things off. We have the potential to put some melee units back behind here as well. So we'll put Sun Wukong down here. He's really the backstop since Silas probably will not have a problem cleaning up here. Okay, so these levels are seeming pretty straightforward. It's the double AoE that will probably put the most stress on us right here. But having Phersey with the AoE damage reduction as a healer really helps to make that not such a big deal. All right, we're going to continue on with this team. We may eventually need to swap to an AoE like a mage, but we're going to continue on like this right now. Same mechanic. It looks like these will be the safe back tiles. That AoE looks to be based around the tanks. So these two tiles should be safe from that AoE damage if we keep them there. And if we place Silas here, he's going to be able to hit both lanes. The only problem is he doesn't have a healer. We're going to pull him back. If we set him here, he can hit both lanes. We just want to keep him healthy. And since everything's up here, we're going to put Sun Wukong up here to help clear this out. And we'll put Idril here, although it looks like she won't get a healer, so we'll put Diao Chen here. We're spreading ourselves a little thin, but once Silas comes back around, we shouldn't have a problem. So now he has full range here. We're putting Numera here because we're starting to get a lot of ads in. I think this wouldn't be as much of an issue if we hadn't misplaced Silas on the first go around, so we had to wait for him to come back up, but I think we're okay. We're just throwing on the auto ults. I don't see anything. We might hold Pharisee's ult separate just in case we need to pop it. We did lose our Idril here, but we should have enough damage with just Silas and Sun Wukong and Numera backing up their tanks. We'll throw Idril back in. I'm not sure she she really needs that AoE damage reduction from our healer here, Pharisee, but I think it's more important to keep Silas alive. We could set her in the middle, but then she wouldn't get range on both lanes. So the goal here is, because of the range extension, we're able to get our marksman hitting both lanes. All right. And this is kind of one of those gimme levels because 10 can leak through without it affecting what you get out of it. We probably want to leave the AoE in there as well. We'll just stack up all of our physical here to offer us as much block as possible. And we'll just roll ults here. almost leaking back here, but like I said, we have 10 leaks before it'll give us any problems, so I'm not too worried about letting stuff leak. We'll switch Diao to inspiration mode here. That just help us kill everything. We don't really need a healer for these levels. Even if our tank goes down, he has that invulnerability on first death, so based on where we are in the round, I don't think it'll be an issue. All right, should be finishing up here. The nice thing about Void Rift is once you clear a round once, or a phase, all of the battles that are not boss battles are instant wins. So you don't have to come back and mess with this stuff once you've done it once. So the bosses, you do have to at least run the auto, and there is some variation based on some bonuses in higher levels and negatives based on the factions. So we're just gonna keep with the same squad here. So if I remember this correctly, the boss comes out here and builds up a buff if we let them. So we want to break that shield down before they can put that buff up, and we should be good. They also focus the last placed platform unit, so we need to be mindful of that as well. We'll go like this. We'll use Idril to help clean that up. The only downside with Idril is if we use her ultimate, she'll prioritize the closest target. We can always use Numera. Depending on if the boss hits here will depend on if that's helpful. We can use Diao here. That AoE that she takes being the last platform unit should be mitigated by her position where it shouldn't splash the others. Oh, who went down? Numera. Okay. That's okay. Then we can put Sun Wukong here. We won't be able to break their shield probably before the end. It looks like one of the clones is actually helping out, but we still won't be able to break it. So they'll get a steel stone. That means they start hitting a little bit harder. But when they go back to the other side, I think it will be mitigated because Silas should be able to burn that shield down before it's an issue. Yeah. So here Silas is able to lock onto her, break that shield so we don't let it build up anymore. And we should be finishing up with this wave. So definitely this level can be a little overwhelming if you're not able to break probably 2 or 3 shields. Although if you just make super tanky characters place last, whoever gets placed last eats the hits. So if you're strategic about that, you can ignore the mechanic and just have a really juicy tank or perhaps an HP based healer that's dedicated to managing that. We'll put in Nomera so you can actually hit them. One of the major differences coming into this next level of Void Rift is previously you could have one leak and still complete the stage. Now we're not given any leeway or forgiveness there. So pretty much if one thing gets through, then the level fails. All right. I think we might want one more healer. Yeah, this is the level I thought it would be. So We'll put Sun Wukong here. We'll put Idril here to clean up the center lane. We're going to put Silas here to help with the boss when he comes down this way. We don't really have a good way of dealing with the boss when we're facing up, but perhaps Idril will be beefy enough to deal with it. We'll see. I think we're going to go like this. That way the healer can cover whoever's here as well. And perhaps we should have used Yao Chan to help boost Silas here, to consider just trying to kill the boss. Maybe we can do that when we go up here. She'll get the seal stone here, rotate here. We'll try to kill her when she's up there. We'll wait to drop Numera so she's not getting chunked by the boss as she comes over. So we're going to drop Numera, and then we'll drop Silas. We'll change to Yao. Once Silas gets his ult back, we're going to try to... Oh, he died. Okay. That did not work. We'll have to see if we're able to tank this. It looks like the Sun Wukong clones are helping to tank, so that's super helpful. I do anticipate a lot of things getting picked off once the Sun Wukong stuff stops coming through. We're going to go like this. So he starts eating and then oh, no, we should have switched the order there. Let's see if we can... I think Silas will just die, but we'll try it. Yeah, he did. Yeah, we're going to need to redo this level. I think I may try my tactic of trying to burn the boss down early using Diao Chen. We might want to bring in Corvid as a second marksman here so we can place him facing up. But we'll give this one more go. Okay, so we'll see how far down we can push her. So about the same as last time. The Diao didn't really help because we didn't have... we're going to see if we can clear some stuff here with Idril, but it seems like she just doesn't quite hit hard enough here. And we might need to evaluate her gear, although these guys are super beefy. The plan here is to put Silas up here and then drop a tank here so the shots go to the tank. We don't really want you ulting, buddy. Okay. So we're going to go like that, and that should keep Silas alive. Hopefully his ult will be able to finish her off before it's an issue. Nope. We should have enough tanks here to get it done, though. It might just be a long and windy road. So yeah, if I was to do it again, I would probably try to put another marksman here like Corvin to help break that shield and get her down a little bit more. Right now, the biggest issue is that we're kind of trapped. Almost anything that we drop now is going to get killed by the boss. Uh, so, mm. But we have enough tanks here that we can kind of just wait for Idril's ult to whittle everything down. We're gonna leak here, so it's not gonna work anyway. Okay, we're gonna look at Idril's gear a little bit and see if we can improve it, and then we're going to probably sub Corvin in instead of Numera, just to see if we can use that. So yeah, we want attack and crit probably. Some of these mobs have higher defensive stats, so we'll go that route. See if there's other attack and crit. And this will give us a little bit more crit rate as well. Once again, we're looking for attack and crit on the chest. Numera's just getting robbed, but that's okay. All right, so we're now at 97% crit. That should help a lot. But let's give this a go and see if we're able to do it more cleanly. And I think Idril's stat updates would allow us to do it with the old strat as well. We're not going to mess so much with Diao. If we have the extra cost, we'll put her in, but we're more interested in getting Corvin set up and getting a healer down, I believe. That should do it. Okay. Let's see if her regeared is able to better handle some of this. She's plinking them down a little bit more, but not appreciably. Okay. Corvin's pushing her down as well. All right, we're going to get Silas in and a tank down so Silas doesn't die. All right, so that's the primary mechanic that will give us a problem. So now we can place units anywhere. It's not about what unit got hit last. And we'll just put auto ults on here. There's not much we need to hold for now. It does appear Idril's doing a lot better job of killing our flying stuff here, but also cleaning up these guys that were pretty tanky. But we can just drop Silas as well, and he'll definitely clean up this last one, no problem. There we go. I think that was the... It really did feel like that was the boss encounter. But I think we have the actual boss here. So similar, we're going to need 2 tanks. We will need 2 healers. We have Pharisee, we have Vortex. In terms of damage, I might throw in an AoE. And let's see what we got in terms of gear to put on him. That should do okay. Especially early on, gear is just such a premium, and being able to shift it around, it's super helpful. So once again, we're going to be able to place our tanks down, and they're going to have AoE that hits around them. So we will have our healers that help to keep everyone up. Once again, Pharisee's an all-star here, mitigating AoE damage. Okay, we'll just blast ults there. And I will probably put Sun Wukong on this side just because Sideless should be able to handle a side much better than Corbin. And we lost Silas just on, and our healer. Huh, okay. Let's see if we can hold it together. We'll use Diao as a backup healer. He's getting kind of rocked on this side, so we're going to try to finish that off. Okay, we'll use Pharisee's ult there to try to keep everyone up. We can just clear that. We're okay. Get that ult down. All right, so we should be coming into the last phase here. Once this is down, it'll just be the boss that's left. Use the ult from Pharisee to help out there. And we're going to throw Silas in here and just throw in, oh, that's the wrong one, another healer to help keep everybody up. Although with ults here, the boss should be down. So I feel like this was a little bit easier than the prior level in terms of mechanics, but yeah, pretty straightforward boss. So that's phase 1 of Void Rift here. Let's go on to phase 2. All right. If I remember, these bosses want magic damage. So we're going to make sure we have 2 tanks, 2 healers, and some damage. We might put Corbin in here. Let's see how this goes. Yeah, so we'll have these guys really take the most damage from magic. We have ads that come in here that need to be killed because they heal these guys and buff them. And then we have other ads that come in here and try to disrupt the fight as well. So we have this lane here, this lane here, and this lane here. This lane is just mostly supporting this lane, so. And we can put somebody there to clog it up for them. And the one thing I'm noticing is Corbin kind of messed us up here because some of these ads don't start moving till they get hit. And so I think he prematurely started them moving. So we may need to refrain from using Corbin here. We're going to need to get another DPS in then. We need better control of who is getting hit. We're going to go with Maul. Nice, good range. And we'll just steal Corbin's gear. Well, let's take a look. Is there anyone else's gear we should steal? Nah, we'll just take Corbin's. All right, so just get set up again. And we'll put him up there to take the brunt of the damage. All right, so we seem to have a little bit better control. Yeah, it's not the ideal healer here. We'll probably swap Pharisee in just so we're not getting splashed, especially. Okay, so it seems like we have a good rhythm here. I think the last time I didn't wait till everyone was in the AoE, so we're gonna wait till they all get in before we use it. So it looks like these are our last guys. We can pick everyone else up. Hopefully that's not a mistake. Live. Tank. Sun Wukong clones. Okay, perfect. So we're able to clear that. All right. Onwards and upwards. Let's take a look and see what this is. So this is an interesting level, and we probably will need all of our marksmen here. What do we have? 1, 2. We're gonna need more marksmen. Okay. There's 2 lanes up here with flying ads that will just wipe you if you don't have enough. So definitely the last time I played through these levels, I was not able to handle it without adjusting the team. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4. That should be good. We do want to give Corvin some gear. We can steal gear from... Let's be a little bit more intentional. Let's just look for what we have that has attack and crit. Definitely some slim pickings, but it's okay. We've hit all the 18s on the gear raids. We should start being able to push into the 19s and make some pretty good progress there. All right. We'll go with this. So similar to the prior level, we're going to have a bottom lane that we have these units that are primarily take magic damage. So we'll set Gaius up to deal with them with a tank and a healer. Then we have enemies that come through here. These are the guys that would want to buff these again. And we will try to control them here. We'd like to get this tank down before they get through. Yeah. Then we also have ads that come in from these portals, and if you don't deal with these ads before they get too close, they will drop like these lava pits on the ground that will pretty much kill anything. So we will have to see. Unfortunately, Corvid is hitting stuff and triggering these guys to move quicker, but yeah, we needed Brienne's ult there. She got the lava below her, so I'm not sure if we get another round from that side, though. Stop it, Carvin. You're killing me. We'll see if we can double healer down here now. Corvin likes to rush these guys down the lane. We've been able to handle it with double healers, but who died? Corvin died. Rough. hopefully we can handle this. We really don't want them to get down below because that's when they put these lava tiles down there and we won't be able to handle that. We just need him to go down. So that should be the level. It was kind of tight. It was sloppy. You can see these kind of lightning lava puddles that will kill everyone. Luckily, we were still able to squeak by, but that's why you really need 4 range to be able to hold these lanes down. All right, onward and upward. I don't think I missed anything, but oh, yep. I always know this is the area where I'll leave something behind and it won't let me finish Void Rift completely. Here's another one of those kind of freebie levels with the goblins. All right, just put our autos on. Starting to stack up a little bit, but we still were able to hold everything in. But like I said, we have a leeway of 10 leaks and it doesn't impact the rewards as long as you clear the levels. So more forgiving than most things in Void Rift or in the game in general. All right, we should be wrapping up shortly. At this point, it's probably technically quicker to pick up all of your units and let them go through, but that just seems silly to me. All right, so I believe we're getting closer to the end of this phase. Yeah, one more fight and then we will be at the boss level. Let's go ahead and see how this level is set up. Similar to the last one, where we want a tank, a magic damage dealer to deal with this lane. Put a healer back there. Then we have supports trying to come through, and we also have, let's see, we also have those guys that drop the lightning stuff on the ground that come from over here. So I'll probably use Silas on this side. We might need a healer here. We didn't have enough cost. Let's see if we can recover. I think the major downside here is these bookkeepers are splashing Silas, so it's more stress on our tanks. But it looks like we're going to be able to handle it. Oh, tank went down up here. That's not good. Corbin's causing us to splash here. We probably need to stay away from Corbin on this level if we can. I think if we get a healer down sooner in that middle area, then we won't have that problem. Let's give it a go. So I think we might hold off on the healer up here, see if Olog can self-sustain. And I might end up putting Silas here. Just these bookkeepers were hitting us pretty hard. See if he can deal with them before we even need the healer. No, we'll go ahead and give him Pharisee. We do want to get our healer down. Ugh, yeah. Okay, so we're going to need a healer down at the top sooner. We're just going to start with him up there and see if we can still get things down here going fast enough as well. Maybe we'll forgo our magic damage as things come in. He's kind of awkward position here because he's not taking any damage. Ooh, these guys clocked our tank. Huh. Let's see. I don't think Corbin is going to contribute here. Let's go ahead and get Diao back in. All right. So let's get back into this. We're going to see if we need to stack 2 healers at the top. Okay, we're going to try to use Diao here. Brienne's struggling a little bit, but she has some wind-up time to clear this one. And we're going to try to put Diao in DPS mode to try to help clear all of this as well. All right. So it looks like we're holding down. We're stacking 2 healers here just to try to compensate. We may need to regear him a little bit, but we're going to see what we can do. All right. Her AoE was able to deal with that wave. And we're going to use his ultimate here to try to clean all these up. Okay, so it seems like this helped us to get through this. Probably an excessive use of healers, but we are below the BP recommendations here, so we'll eke it out on mechanics. Gaius, while he's a very respectable magic dealer, he is more focused on AoE and probably has a bit of a hybrid tax for being able to do anti-heal, so he's definitely one that could easily be replaced with any dedicated magic dealer. So we're coming into this boss here. I think we're going to drop a tank. We're going to put in Sun Wukong. And maybe go like this. Okay, so these guys buff these guys, so they need to really die before we can deal with that. We do have a boss that's coming down through here, so we're going to try to deal with him with Sun Wukong. These guys are pretty beefy. You really need the Silas Salt here to deal with them. So let's finish burning them down. Use the Sun Wukong ult here to push them down. And we'll just throw Gaius in here to try to help put some pressure on the boss. Okay, boss is going down. So we can pick up everything down here. And so this is kind of a two-wave fight. The boss does have a mechanic where if you don't kill him fast enough, he will wipe everyone and you'll have some time to reset up over here. We're still going to get some ads coming across here, but we get some time here to allow everyone to be redeployed. So I definitely think this phase 2 is one of our more difficult portions, just because oof, we need our guys back. Okay. Gonna go like this, gonna go like this. As long as he dies before him, we should be fine. Put Sun Wukong here. And we'll try to clear everyone out there. We use a Silas Salt to try to burn him down while he's not getting support. It looks like Sun Wukong's getting splashed somehow here as well. We'll just support Gaius with And yeah, we don't necessarily have to, but it doesn't hurt. Yeah, so there goes our Sun Wukong. With this down, we should have phase 2 cleared of Void Rift here. So that is good. And we can move on to phase 3. So we're moving to phase 3 of Elite Void Rift. It's the next step up in terms of difficulty. All right. I think I prefer Hollow as a healer here, and this is before we had. It seems to revert back to whatever you used in these normal phases, so it looks like we're good here. All right, so it looks like we'll have 2 lanes to protect. Okay, so if Diao acts as a healer, she can hit both the tanks here. We'll probably mostly use her for inspiration, but it doesn't hurt to have her set up to be able to act in that support role if we need her. Or that healing support role instead of buffing support role is probably a clearer way to state that. So I feel like the last phase was primarily the beefier guys required magic damage to deal with, and that's one of our weaker parts of this account. The only leveled magic dealers that we have is Gaius, and to some degree Numera. We probably need to get her up to 60, but we have a lot of different things we're working on, so and limited resources, so we kind of balance what we have. Okay, we'll use that Silas ult there to keep that lane from clogging up. These guys don't seem like they really struggle with the Sun Wukong support and Corvin plinking away. It's mostly these beefier guys that come up here and then come from here that have the potential to give us problems. But I think if we're able to have Silas ult available, if they're starting to stack up, that will prevent it from becoming an issue. We also have Idril and Corvin kind of helping to soften them up, so they're not coming in full. They would definitely be a lot more difficult if they were coming in at full health, but being able to soften everyone up. These last two should allow us to clear this no problem. Oh, they got murdered. Okay. Well, that's unfortunate. We're going to have to do this level again. We might need to evaluate. I'm not sure if there's any room to go on his gear without going up to level 16, and we are lacking the gold to do that. But let's take a look and see if he has any gear that's worthy. The stats are proper, but man, the rolls are not great there. Similar there, and that one can't go up. This one is probably worth going to 16. We're going to try to make a beefier tank. That's the primary important role there. That one can't go up any further, but we adjusted let's see if there's anything we can do with the artifact. That should help as well. We can cap this out just for a little bit more stats. We probably want to drop a second healer in our group too. We were being a little greedy, not putting Pharisee in. So let's go ahead and do it again. These are the levels, though, you really wish you had the ability to make it go faster. 2x is nice, but I'll take a 3 or 4x once you get things rolling. Okay, we'll just put our second healer up to try to make sure he stays alive. We'll put Diao in, but she's going to primarily be focused on inspiration. We could have switched her back. Olag died before I even noticed that he was having problems there. Alright, so this can be a little bit tedious, but why? It was the last two enemies at the very end of the level that got us to. That can be frustrating. So once again, we'll use Silas to his ultimate to try to not let enemies stack up here. So it seems like he has the biggest problem when they start to stack up on him. They just are better positioned to burst him down. He hasn't seemed to really struggle when it's only one on him. Okay. Oh, he went down again. It was when he had 2 on him. We are going to do something a little bit different and maybe greedy, but we're gonna only use Sun Wukong down here. That way we can have a backup tank at the top if we need him. I think we're just gonna put auto ults on here. Although we won't have Salus's auto ult on because we want to time it to be most effective up there. And we'll just have Idril in unless we need to swap them out for rocks. So you can definitely feel that it says our battle power is kind of at the edge of not enough. And you can definitely tell that we're kind of pushing up against what the account is capable of here. I do anticipate we'll be able to clear, if not definitely before the end of the week, but this is where we have to be mindful of our limitations and do our best to just kind of bully the level by mitigating that somewhat through kind of out tricking the system or not letting it use all of its force in a way that puts us in jeopardy. So it definitely seems like we're not struggling down here to have Sun Wukong be the kind of the bruiser tank. His clones also help pick up the slack there. So I feel like we're getting to that same spot that got kind of dangerous here when two of these guys doubled up on him. So that seems like when we struggle the most is when two of these guys are allowed to be on him at once. So if we can get this guy down before this one comes in, I don't anticipate it'll be a problem. If we need a second tank, because he just gets clocked here, then we have that option. Yep. So we ended up needing it. That's okay. And that's going to allow us to sneak through. So a little bit of an adjustment, but it lets us get through the level that we weren't previously able to. So that's good. All right, let's see what this level is. I'm kind of going here blind, but it's giving us an old setup. So we're going to run our two tanks. We're definitely going to want our two healers. I'm going to go with our two marksmen as well. We're going to get Diao and Sun Wukong. I think that's a good place to be. I wish it wouldn't scramble the teams. I do remember this now, though. So we will have... We're just going to allow these two to deal with the top level. We'll put auto ults on, although we don't want Oleg ulting. Just some context on that is when Oleg ults, he doesn't do his automatic shielding that he does otherwise. So that's why we don't want him ulting all the time. The nice thing about his ult is it does give you an extra block, and I think with some awakenings offers some damage mitigation. So there are reasons to have it, but we might need to use Gaius here. We're going to pull that healer out. We might end up paying for that, but well, let's see if we can get away with it. Okay, so Oleg was able to survive up there. So far. not speak too quickly, but it looks like he'll be fine. All right, so we are back. We've upgraded our Olog a little bit, and just in reviewing his situation, he didn't have any skill ups. So we have maxed out. He's going to have a 35% stronger shield with the shorter cooldown, and his ultimate will now offer additional damage reductions. So we're going to go ahead and see if that is what makes the difference for us to clear the level. I am currently farming experience to get him up to level 60, but I'm really curious to see if we're able to accomplish this without doing that. I think one of the most interesting things about a new account is seeing what you can accomplish with the least amount of resources. I think I said it earlier, but this game is really a resource management game. And so trying to figure out all of the different little ways that we can maximize our resources is so important. Because there's kind of breakpoints where if you're able to get past a certain break point with less resources, you're actually able to more efficiently farm those resources. So I think Void Rift is one of those things. For example, we're able to get materials in here to farm artifacts. And artifacts are so... AMR or artifact material raid is just such a pain in the butt. And so if we can kind of skip past those early levels of artifact material raid, scrounging up artifacts in other places, we really can do a good job of trying to sneak into the 19 plus of AMR and avoid kind of those egregious resource sinks that AMR can definitely be. All right, so unfortunately we can't quite burst him down before he gets that first ultimate, but another thing is while he doesn't do his shield in his ultimate, he mitigates physical damage, so we're going to blow that ult and see if it better allows us to stay alive. It seems like he's staying up a little bit better. We'll get that vortex ult on him and try to squeeze through here. So he has that second buff, but it looks like we're very close to clearing. So it looks like that is good there. Once we take that mob out, that is the level. So I think this is a good example of just investing some dust and cheap resources. We didn't have to get him 6-star. So obviously very quickly as we progress into content, we're going to have everyone at 6 stars. But the longer we can squeak by without doing that, the better, or the greedier we're going to be able to be. I think a lot of our gear here is on our physical DPS, so we're going to try to utilize that, although we probably want Silas. So where did Silas's gear go? I think we put it on Numera. We're going to take that back. Now we're just going to quick equip him. And that should let us get into this. Okay, and we'll enable all the DPS auto ults here. I think Silas was the only one not enabled. So the next level that we have up is Torador. He can be a challenging one. So we're gonna see how this goes. And once again, he's going to be pretty dependent on the ground DPS. We're only going to have like 2 slots that are not platforms, and those are generally saved for our healers. So once again, we'll have to probably lean pretty heavily into Sun Wukong and probably Silas on the top. So we'll have one healer, one ranged DPS, and then the rest is just going to be ground. So we'll see how it goes. So last couple waves here. Looks like our Elysia bit the dust, but that's okay. We could let all of this through and still get the clearance. Okay, so finishing this up, and then we'll be on to our last level. All right. Let's take a look. So we can remove some of this out. I don't think we'll have room for 2 healers. We're going to need to put gear on Numera. We will need to have Sun Wukong in there. And then any other fighters that we have. We don't really have a lot, if we're being honest. We're going to put Ein in. He can give our Watchers a little bit of a boost. I think we're going to need to make sure Elysia has some decent gear. We can give them Aurelius's gear. Although, I'm not seeing... I don't think that's good gear. We're going to have to manually come and adjust it. Probably steal most of Idril's gear, if we're being honest. Alright, that's better. Okay. And we want Silas in there. I think we won't have room for Diao. And I think we really want the Lord bonus for the Piercers more than just her lightning. We're about 250 below recommended BP, but this is really mechanics fight that I feel like if we're able to do the mechanics, we're going to be okay. We're just going to go with the auto ults. We'll probably take some of the people off, but for this bottom corner, I think that's going to be sufficient. This AoE is a little rough, so if we can set Numera back, that is great. We're going to set him up there. And we're going to set Elysia here to try to help. We really need this one to go down, but this might be a situation where we do need to level up some people. We'll see if Xena can help us clean up a little bit here. No. I'm thinking maybe we need to put Sun Wukong down here. I think Silas might be able to handle the top. I think this is just a case where we need an anchor down here that can actually deal with things. Yeah, these guys, they just have to die or they put a lot of pressure on everything else that's going on. The one issue here is we're going to need an additional tank. We might need to bring Rex in to stall the boss when he comes through, but we'll see if we can cheese it with our other fighters. We'll wait for these guys to come through first. Okay, we're just going to stack all of our physical up here. Oh, we didn't survive quite there. Okay, so we're going to try it one more time. This is another level that we're really trying to kind of cheese out without having strictly the battle power that it was originally designed for. The one thing we might put Numera here to try to soften these guys up for us before they come in. We really want them to go down if we can before they come through and power up here at the stone. We'll see if we can get this to survive. It looks like we might, but he's taking a wallop in here. We don't have a tank here, though. No, he didn't quite survive. We're going to need to bring in Rex, although I'm not sure how well he's going to stand up there. So we're going to mess with the placements a little bit, see if we can tweak things to accomplish what we're looking to here. We're going to try to hold the Silas ult if we can, just to speed up killing the slaughterers. Those guys aren't really hurting Sun Wukong. So we're going to pop it here. Alright, so I think we're in a good position here. The question will be surviving the axe slaughters in this lane long enough to kill the boss. I don't know why I set myself further back. Now I'm out of Sun Wukong's range. Hopefully we can get the ult here and not have to redo the run just to test the bottom lane. We messed up the placements. That's my bad. Alright, so we're going to try adjusting the placements here. Using Numera on the bottom. On the inside slot, so she'll continue to do damage here, while Elysia can hold these long enough to... this lane is really what's killing us more than the bottom lane. Alright, and we'll put a log here so Sun Wukong can continue to push in. Looks like we have control here. I think this top lower lane only becomes an issue when the Ox Slaughters come in. Okay. And we'll use his ultimate as soon as he pops a shield, just to give him some mitigation while his shield is burning. Now we can pick everyone up. Now the question is, can this bottom lane survive long enough for the boss to die up here? So I think as long as they can survive up here, but it's when we get these four on top of those two that are just going to wreck them. Yeah, no shot. Honestly, I think maybe if we improve Numera, give her... We're going to try to stack our best gear on her and see if that lets her... We're going to give her Sun Wukong's gear. This might be silliness, but then we're going to need to give Sun Wukong some better gear. Probably give him Silas's gear. Most of this is 16, so let's see if this better enables us. Okay, so what we've done here is instead of upgrading Rocks, who is dying to the Axe Slaughters, at the end of the day, we still need to kill them. And Numera is probably our best way to do that. So we have upgraded her to 6-star and got her promoted, trying to help handle that. We'll see if that's sufficient in order to handle this bottom side. I might take Sun Wukong off the auto ults as well. He ended up using an ult at the very end on one of these axe slaughterers when he could have instead waited for just a second in order to put it down here. So hopefully, I think we're doing a little bit better with our life here. We're a little low, but not to the point we were last time. If we can just get our ults back, we should be fine. We're going to go ahead and use his ult to try to mitigate some damage here. Okay, so that got through, just like we did previously. So the big question will be, can Numera handle the axe slaughterers down here before they kill rocks? He can handle 2 at a time, but when they stack the additional 3rd and 4th one, that's when he gets overloaded and dies. Oh yeah, so that's a huge upgrade for her. So then the other question up here is, are we going to be able to burst the DOS down? And I don't think it will be a problem up here. So hopefully this will allow us to clear Void Rift here. And this is the last level we have. So she's continuing to handle it down here. That's good. All right, so hopefully we can finish him off up here. And this will be the clear. Get your shield up, buddy. There we go. Oh, he went down. We're going to try to hold him in place for a second. A little bit more. I think we're really close here, though. We're going to try it one more time. So now we have the bottom lane handled, but the top lane, Olog died a little bit before we were able to clear the boss. We were like in the 20-30% range. So this might be an issue where we need to optimize Silas's gear a little bit more, or optimize Sun Wukong a little bit more, just to be able to put a little bit more pressure on them up here. Okay, one axe slaughter down. We should have the next one down. It looks like Olog's staying pretty healthy. So much of it just comes down to the timing of his shield ults, which is a little bit randomized, just based on the placement time. All right, we're clear there. Technically, there's a strat where you can pull him back like this and then have somebody finish him off, but we don't have the oomph to do that. We're able to put a little bit of damage in him, like 1%. If we would have had Silas's ult back, we could have put some more damage into him. We might have messed ourselves up here for Sun Wukong to be able to stay on this tile, though. Yeah, he can't. Oh. Well, we're going to give it a go. Numera's holding her end of the bargain up down here much better now that she's 60. And all of her promotions. All of that just matters so much. Okay, so here's the do or die. Unfortunately, Sun Wukong has taken a little bit of damage back there. Maybe he can help us. We're going to try to lead him back just a little bit. Nope. At the 15% point. We're going to try it one more time, but not mess up the placements. Putting fire down here for Sun Wukong. The one thing we might try to do is shift a little bit of the equipment away from Numera, see if we can put a little more damage up here while still maintaining our ability to control the downstairs as well. Okay. Okay, so we're in a good position here. Okay. We're set up here. All right, so we're in a good position here. Numeric continues to clear that top lane. So let's hope that we can push enough damage into him to get through. Ugh. Okay, so we're going to try to swap artifacts and give Sun Wukong the Shattered Hilt. We also are going to review the gear for Silas and see if there's anything we can do to juice him up a little bit. So we're going to steal this. We're going to give Numera something. So that'll help a little bit, but also let's look at Silas and see if there's better gear to give him. Let's for attack and crit rate first. If nothing else, this is a superior piece. This one is not. Let's see what we can do for attack and crit here. No. Unfortunately, not better pieces. Oof. Use so much crit there. Yeah, I think this is a pretty significant upgrade there. So we made a little bit of tweaks there. Let's see if these tweaks allow us to get through. So once again, the major adjustment that we've made is instead of leveling up one of our tanks, we've gone ahead and capped Numera. The major bottleneck that we were running into was keeping this lane dead. But after making this adjustment, we had to take some of the DPS gear from up here, and now we're struggling to finish the boss off in the last rotation. So we've rebalanced a little bit, giving her best artifact to Sun Wukong just to see if it gives us enough to scrape through at the top here. Okay. And we upgraded Silas's gear a little bit, but all of those incremental changes can be a big deal. Okay, so I feel like we were faster on the kill here. Oleg has more life than he has before, so hopefully this is a good sign going into the second phase for this boss. Okay, so made that transition. Hopefully the upgrades here won't detract enough from Numera's damage down here, and we continue to be balanced and able to finish the boss off up here. Okay, so she's still putting in good work down here. Not pulling them quite as fast, but as long as they go down before the next group comes in, that's our main concern. So they're dead before they come in. Okay. Moment of truth here. See if we can push him down before he kills Olag. It's looking a lot better. So just a couple shifts in gear up here was able to let us squeak by. So that is Void Rift cleared. So second week in Void Rift, second level of Void Rift. So Void Rift Elite, that is the clear. Let's go ahead and collect our rewards. And we have some crafting to do. We're just going to claim everything now. I always want to vendor this gear. That's actually not a horrible piece. Go ahead and sell that one. So Void Rift in the books. We do have this to claim as well. This could be a really big artifact for us. So it's not, but let's go ahead and go and use our crafting materials. Since we haven't had a lot of progress in AMR, these crafts could be very impactful for us. So we get 2 mythic forges. Nothing amazing, unfortunately. And we get 1 exclusive forge. So we don't have a bleeding hero, but just having these higher stats could potentially be helpful. Well, thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video, watching the progress and the thought process as we progress through Void Rift. Like, comment, and subscribe.